tell them happy Lammas. Hi, everybody online. I just finished welcoming our group in person. I'm so happy to see you because the day is here. And I always say it's a long-awaited day because this is when the bounty starts to come, right? All of your hard work has paid off, and now it's the rewards, slow. It's the fruit that's coming. But it's also sad because this is the first day that we all look at each other and say, we don't have much summer left. But here's what I love about First Harvest. You actually do have 7 weeks left. So we get this moment to sit with that, like, whoa, we don't have a lot of time left, and then we get 7 more weeks to enjoy. And I think we, magical practitioners, enjoy these final weeks of summer more than anybody else does because we're aware of what's coming and we're planning for it. So it's this great lesson in learning to be in this moment and enjoy this moment, but still be mindful that if you're a summer baby like me, my birthday's next week, that we are losing ground. I know. Thank you. I'm a Leo. What a surprise. What gave it away? I'm Libra rising, which is why I talk too much, and I'm working on that. I really am working on that. There are 12-step programs for Libras for talking. There really are. And so the first step is not talking, and that's hard for us, and so we try. But anyway, it's so good to see you guys. I know. So I want to talk a little bit about Lammas, especially because I don't know how many of you online are new to this holiday, but quite a few in the room were new. And I was sharing that when I was first going through my magical training a long time ago, I was in my late teens, early 20s, that my high priestess at the time had said that Lammas was the most overlooked holiday of them all. And she said that the reason she thought that was when you say harvest, most people think Mabon, which is September 21st, when the actual wheel of the year turns from summer to fall. So when you say harvest and then you say August 1st, most people look at you like you have two heads because it's like, I was telling them in the room, how can it be harvest time? I'm laying on the beach, right? So, or not, but you know what I mean. It's still hot outside and we're talking about harvest. But there are 3 harvests. So I want to talk to you briefly about that. One of the things I love, the other name for Lammas, the god that we honor with Lammas is Lug or Lunasa or Lunasa. People pronounce it different ways. And what's interesting is the origin of his name traces back to the word for light, lux in Latin. And so what's fascinating to me, and this is my life's work, this is why I do this work, I love how all the stories have common threads, right? Like Demeter and Persephone. Who we're going to be working with soon in an upcoming full moon ritual. I know, I'm so excited. Do you guys know that story? That's why we have winter, right? So Hades kidnapped Persephone, took her to the underworld. She got hungry, ate some seeds, and then she had to end up staying with Hades for the number of months per year of the number of the seeds that she ate. And so that's why we have winter. It is Demeter's grief as a mother for losing her daughter, and so she cast the entire planet into darkness for 3 months a year. Because a mother can do that. Don't mess with a mama's babies, right? But there's a very interesting tie in there, too, with Lunasa and his mother, who actually died in the process of cultivating crops for her people. And so his work every year is almost a similar narrative. It's like wanting to bring all the crops forward and bring them to the people as a way of honoring her life and her work. The mother always figures strongly in mythology. Have you noticed that? And every single goddess, don't we say every single goddess is a goddess of mothering? As if there's nothing else that goddesses do. But we do mother quite well, each other and ourselves too. So that's the tale behind Lammas. It actually is, the root of the word has to do partly with Mass, because of course it became a Christianized holiday, much like many of our early pre-Christian holidays became Christianized. But it was celebrated by eating a loaf of bread. And so that's how you celebrate. So if you want to do Lammas right, that's why I have wheat here, because I had to show you wheat, because it's a wheat harvest. So I did that. So that's like a requisite step in a Lammas ritual is to show you wheat. Cheers. It's a wheat harvest. Okay. So, and it's beautiful. It's actually really beautiful. And what I love too, you can braid your wheat. There's all kinds of interesting, you can make the dolls and the figurines. And it's actually a fun way to teach little ones too about, what this holiday represents. And even if you don't bake bread, share bread with them. That's what I'm doing with my kids because I don't have a lot of time to bake bread, but I sure do have time to buy some bread and then talk to them about the fact that the first harvest of wheat just happened and then what that means for our soul. So tonight what we're doing is we're focusing on you. So this is your harvest. In the shop we had kits for 5 different harvests, and you guys saw that. So health, peace and love and all the things that we traditionally want to manifest. And there was an open kit in case you wanted to manifest your own. You're going to start hearing me talking more about candle magic this month, because we've talked a lot about aromatherapy, we've talked a lot about gemstones, and I really want to get people back to the basics of candle magic, because it is one of the most powerful ritual tools you can use, and yet I think it kind of gets not as much attention, don't you think? I mean, it's sort of like we take candles for granted. We light them, we move on, but our ancestors used to really go into a full ceremonial process of just how they lit their candle and how they anointed their candle. So we're going to do a little bit of that tonight, just as a way of sort of teaching you. Next week is full moon, and then we're gathering again toward the end of the month for new moon. So we have 3 big live events in store that I hope you can join us for this month. We're going to start doing live, public, free new moon ritual every month. It's very exciting. First month ever. I know, I'm so excited. To help you set intentions. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to help you chart your intentions, and we're going to have a roundup at the end of the year, a check-in, to see how many of your intentions have come to pass. I'm very curious. I like data, so it's like I want to know. And if you want to know why I write my intentions at every new moon, it's so that because I'm getting older, my memory's not so good. So I get surprised when things manifest. Like, oh, I said that. Oh, yeah, I did that. Wow, that's really cool. Everything's a surprise when you're older. It's if you're young, you don't understand. Every day is a whole new day. But it is really fun to look at your new moon intention journal and at the end of the year and really track it, because it helps you give thanks to the universe. So many blessings that are on their way to you and that have already come to you are intentions you set many moons ago. And one of the things I said, if you saw me live this week, was I really think the reason most people don't manifest in the way they want to is they don't say thank you often enough. Seriously, take just a minute. It makes me want to cry right now, even saying this to you. Do you ever stop to think about how many things in your life are gifts that you have been given at every turn? Even some of the things you don't think are gifts, like not marrying that person you thought you were supposed to marry, or not, taking that turn off, and finding out later that you would have gotten into an accident. Even the things that you don't realize are gifts. The universe is constantly bestowing blessings upon you. And so we're going to start tonight by saying thank you before we say please. Yeah? I'm trying to teach my kids that. Always, if you have a please in your head, I better hear a thank you first. And I can see them. You know how kids, you can see it on their face. They're like, could I thank you for my breakfast? You know what I mean? Like, Okay. Do you guys have any questions in the room now or online before we get started? So we're going to go through 5 harvests tonight. We're gonna pay energy, attention. When you say pay attention, you're paying that, right? You're actually physically paying something. So we're going to pay attention to each of the 5 open and 4 major conceptual intentions tonight. And then when we go to the open, that's where you can set an intention that isn't love or health or peace, okay? So how many of you know what your intention is right now for your first harvest, what you're calling in? And keep in mind, it may not be here yet, and that's okay. Like, you may be calling in a harvest tonight that's going to come next month. The hardest part of harvest, and I will say this, the hardest part of harvest is not receiving what's coming. It's letting go of what can't come with you. It's hard, isn't it? I don't know about you, but there's a lot that's not coming with me. Isn't probably a lot for you too. People, places, experiences. A lot of us in our community are still grieving the loss of Kelly Clark from 2.5 weeks ago. There's a lot that's not coming with us, but there's so much that is. And so it's this, our entire universe is the yes and the no. It's the gone and the here, right? Our entire universe is that balance. Okay, so I smudged in the room before we started, but I'm going to do a little virtual smudge for you online. And I really want you to just take this moment, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. And I want you, one of my favorite questions is, where are you? Where are you? I want you to take a moment to check in and ask yourself, where am I? I don't mean you're sitting in a room with a door. I mean, where's your spirit? What place has it traveled to? Is your energy with you? Is your energy sitting with someone you're worried about? Is your energy still at work even though your body is somewhere else? Where are you right now? And wherever you are, can you come and be here? Just for right now, just for a few minutes, can you just be here? And the way to get here is to notice your fingers and your toes. Notice the floor underneath you. Notice the temperature of the room where you are. Check in with your body. Are there any places in your body where you're feeling tension or pain right now? Are there any pleasurable sensations? Do you smell white sage? Do you smell beautiful perfumes that you've anointed with? Are there, what textures are around you? These are the ways to bring yourself into the present time. And you can start teaching your children this. This is how you get your kids out of tantrums, by the way. Where are you? Oh, you're in an angry place. Well, I can invite you to a peaceful place. Would you like to come? I'll be here right now. And so just rolling your shoulders back, noticing your posture, softening, softening, softening. Softening your arms, softening your lower back. Even softening your neck and softening the back of your head, softening your arms and softening your hands. Because a lot of times you'll feel like you're relaxed and you look down, your hands are like, you're soften every part of your body. That's the best way to get ready for ritual, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to light my charcoal because I'm going to be using our ritual powders tonight. And that's my favorite way to use them. Did you know your ritual powders double as deodorant? What? It's cool, isn't it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, because they have white sandalwood powder in them, which is a natural deodorant.
You just roll it under your arms?
You just take a pinch and stick it. Sounds sexy, doesn't it?
Like all of them?
Huh?
All of them that you give away?
All of the ritual powders have a white sandalwood base. So any of the ones that you got will double as a deodorant. Isn't that cool? So stop using that bad stuff that isn't as bad. Start using your ritual powders. It's funny. I didn't intend to give you something with such an odd dual purpose, but it really does do that. And so you do. And look, what better if you're working with prosperity? How fun is that? So I keep mine on my bathroom sink. And so in the morning you just take a pinch and you get in there and you rub it in there, and then you smell good for the rest of the day. Have you smelled them? That sandalwood is pretty awesome. White sandalwood's really special. So that, truly the ritual powders were kind of a gift to you because they were very expensive to make because of the fact that they're all based in white sandalwood powder. Okay, so I'm going to open our beautiful circle. I want you to stay in that nice relaxed position. I'm using a selenite wand to open our circle, which is a very traditional tool for opening sacred space. Selenite clears negative energy and it brings peace. And so it's the best thing to use to open a ritual circle. And I'm just going to ask you to imagine a beautiful white sphere of light surrounding all of us around the world. We have beautiful souls checking in from literally almost every country tonight. And so just want you to imagine just wrapping them all in a beautiful beam of white light, and that'll be the circle that holds us. And I'm going to read you a directional prayer that actually comes from the Lakota tradition. Creator, it is I, and I thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath and life within me, and for all of your creations. Creator, hear my prayer and honor my prayer. As the day begins with the rising sun, I ask you, Spirit Keeper of the East, Brother Eagle, be with me. Fly high as you carry my prayers to the Creator. May I have eyes as sharp as yours so I am able to see truth and hope on this path that I have chosen. Guide my step and give me courage to walk the circle of my life with honesty and dignity. Spirit Keeper of the South, Great Wolf, be with me. Help me to remember to love and to feel compassion for all mankind. Help me to walk my path with joy and love for myself and for others, for the four-legged, the winged ones, the plants, and all creation upon Mother Earth. Show me it is right for me to make decisions with my heart, even if at times my heart becomes hurt. Help me to grow and nurture my self-worth in all ways. Spirit Keeper of the West, Brown Bear, be with me. Bring healing to the people I love and to myself. Bring into balance the physical, mental, and spiritual so that I can know my place on this earth, in life and in death. Heal my body, heal my mind, and bring light, joy, and awareness to my spirit. Spirit keeper of the north, white buffalo, be with me. As each day passes, help me to surrender with grace the things of my youth. Help me to listen to the quiet and find serenity and comfort in the silences as they become longer. Give me wisdom so I am able to make wise choices in all things which are put in front of me. And when time for my change of worlds has come, let me go peacefully, without regrets, for the things I neglected to do as I walked along my path. Mother Earth, thank you for your beauty and for all you have given me. Remind me never to take more from you than I need, and remind me always to give back more than I take. And so together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. Don't you love that one? I really love that one. You can find it easily. We've posted it in our group with credit. It was written by Vera Derry in 2002. And so that's one that I would I like to have a lot of invocations. My Book of Blessings is coming, by the way. And so you'll have all of my full moon invocations that I've ever written for you. You'll have new moon invocations, and it's organized by topics. You'll have all my prosperity blessings, all the love blessings. I mean, literally every ritual invocation is there. And so you won't have to search anymore, which I know drives a lot of you nuts. Like, where is that stuff? Now you'll be able to hold it in your hands, which is exciting. So it is. Okay, so I want you to take a moment now, and again, just coming back every time, like returning to that intention for your harvest. Remembering that this is the first harvest, this is not the last. Next month when we gather for Mabon, that's when we're going to do the bulk of our harvesting. And we're going to talk at Mabon about the light and shadow of harvest, okay? Because sometimes things come to you and you don't see it as a harvest because it's difficult or it's sad, and you don't realize that that's also a gift. You know, it's not just the sweetness that's the gift, right? Because your growth oftentimes does not come from the sweetest of moments. Your growth comes from those challenging moments. So when people say, well, why do those things happen? You came here to learn. You know, my teacher and people in my learning communities where I go and study often talk about what it must be like to be on the other side and have the Great Spirit say, I have this task, hands up who wants to go. Because you did that. You said, I'll go. And what's interesting is I love the way my teacher thinks about this. She said, if you have children, it's because they also said, I'll go. Makes me want to cry. They also said, I'll go. I'll go with her. You know, isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. So if you have family, you already have a harvest. They've already said, I'll go with you, and I'll stand by her. I'll stand by him. And sometimes they don't stand by you, and they agreed to that too, and so did you. Isn't that incredible? I really think about that a lot. Huh? Well, so this is the question. So what oftentimes happens, and my teacher is in a bit of that position. And so we're talking about the fact that your soul tribe, like me and the people in this room, we said, I'll go with her. And we show up in different roles and in different ways. I'll go and I'll teach her. I'll go and I'll love her. I'll go and I'll hold her hand. I'll go and I'll make her laugh. You know, I'll go. And so we all said, I'll go now together. I don't think it's an accident that you're sitting here watching me talk about Lammas tonight. And I don't think it's an accident that I've come to know so many of you in so many ways. And what's beautiful is everybody in this room and everybody in that room online is open to knowing you. They're open. So if you can open too, there's an intimacy available to you. Sometimes family is not the blessing. I'm trying to be delicate, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Question in the back, please.
I just wanted to share that I had a dream where I was in a place with all these other souls, and I heard a distress call from Earth. This is my dream. And I remember the exact phrase was, I'll go.
I'll go.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible? Well, if you're not familiar with Dolores Cannon, have you read Dolores Cannon's books by any chance? Okay. You know them already. So when you read them, it's going to be remembering. I'm not introducing you to anything you don't know. But her particular book called The 3 Waves of Volunteers, okay? We don't have a lot of time to go into this tonight, but if you guys ever wanted to have a session where we really went into this, I'd be happy to hold the container for that conversation. But my children, the 8, 10, 12-year-olds right now, they are the third wave. Us in this room, we are the second wave for the most part. The first wave came before us would include my mom and my dad, for example, people in their 70s, 80s now. The first wave didn't come in voluntarily, apparently. Or they did, and then they got there and they were like, oh, you know? Seriously. And so a lot of the first waves don't approve of this work, don't want to do this work, and are actually quite grumpy about having to live this life. Have you noticed it? Yes. So, and they're living long because they're grumpy. You want to live a long time? Be grumpy. The second wave, we all said, well, that's a shit show down there, so I'll go. You know what I mean? They're so grumpy, I'll go. So then here we are, second wavers, right? And second wavers, we're carrying a lot on our shoulders because we actually came and said, I will go and I will work to transmute some of that stuff. And we didn't know exactly what we were signing up for, but oh well. Then the third waves are coming through, a lot of them autistic, a lot of them coming through with extrasensory gifts that are even beyond what we can possibly fathom or understand. And a lot of those first wavers are not understanding that, but the second wavers, we get it. And they're coming through as the greatest teachers of all. And so a lot of us would tell you, I learned more from my kids than I think I'm teaching them, and that's because they're third wavers. They're very old souls. And they're very aware that, and you know, I mean, you watch the news every night and you think, this is exactly why I'm here, right? This is exactly why we're here. So thank you for being here. I love it. Ray says, hey, I'm 65 tomorrow and I'm not grumpy. Yeah. High five, Ray. I like it. And happy birthday. Well, she's a Leo. That's why she's not grumpy. Ever met a grumpy Leo? We can be grumpy for about 10 seconds and then we're back excited about something and we move on. But it's true. And I do feel for that, we're going to get into we have so much work to do tonight, but I do feel for that first wave because I do think they said, I'll go, and then they stepped into something they weren't quite prepared for. And a lot of them feel like they didn't have access to all the tools. Like I remember my mom, even just a few years ago, saying, if I knew what you know, I wouldn't have been so afraid of my gifts. Okay? So now, did I have any unique opportunities that she didn't have? Probably not. I pursued more opportunities to learn than she did, but I also was going against her wishes by doing that. That's tricky. So as a teenager, I'm the black sheep, but then as an adult, she's like, if I had known, I would have done better. And sometimes you got to wait 30 years to hear that. So anyway, I think the quote of the night is, if you want to live a long time, be grumpy. I think that might be my best quote of the evening, I have to say. Okay, so we are going to begin. Now, I want to take just a moment as we have this open container. I want to invite in any spirit guides, ancestral guides, or ancestors themselves who've crossed to the light. I want to welcome in any of the higher selves who wish to attend this circle tonight. As we do this sacred work of harvesting, I want to welcome any of your spirit guides, my own spirit guides, just to come and be in the container with us tonight. We welcome your presence. We appreciate the gifts, the insight, the wisdom, the intuition that you offer us. And so just calling in all of those spirit guides to help support us as we step bravely into this work together tonight. So I'm going to start, I don't know where to start exactly. I'm going to start with prosperity because a lot of you are trying to manifest prosperity. So if you have your ritual powder, there's a couple of different ways to use ritual powders, okay? It works just like a perfume. On the wrist, it gets messy, but you know what? Go with it. A little bit on the third eye, tiny bit at the ankles. This is more powerful than perfume. It's far more concentrated. As I was telling the group in the room, it doubles as a deodorant, so that's kind of exciting. And then a little bit on my charcoal disc as incense, because it makes a beautiful incense. All of your ritual powders are suspended in a base of white sandalwood. And then there's all of the herbs for each of the purposes. And it's going. Isn't that beautiful? So calling in all of our spirit helpers for prosperity, we have guides for each of our intentions and each of the things that we manifest. As you're working on something in your life, new guides appear to help support you. So guides who are leading us toward harvests of prosperity, we invite you into the circle this evening. I want you to take your candle, take your prosperity perfume. I like to work with my wrist as like a canvas. We're going to dress our candle. You ready? We haven't done this before. Just put a little bit at your wrist, take a drop on your finger. And what I like to do, I even do it over my label, okay? What I like to do is I like to start at the center of my candle and move the oil up toward the wick. And as I do this, I'm calling in spirit guides, ancestor spirits, all those in the upper realms to come and support me as I manifest my vision of prosperity. And then working from the center down with your finger, you're just setting the intention. You're making contact between the energy of the perfume and the energy of the candle down to the wick at the bottom. And as we do this, we're calling in all of our spirit animal helpers, compassionate spirits of the lower realms, ancestors of bone, all those who are buried. So we're calling in all of the help from below as we move our finger south. And then we're ready to light our candle. Fun, isn't it? Okay. If you have your grid of stones, have that near you too. I have all of mine here sort of lined up. So I'm going to grab my prosperity grid without moving my microphone too much. And if you feel called to hold any of your crystals while we do this part of the meditation, do that now. I'm just going to take 2 as I feel called from the grid that's already set up. I like to hold 1 in each hand when I'm actually doing the visualization and the meditation. So for each of the meditations, I want you to imagine that in your arms is a basket, okay? A huge basket, as big as you can imagine. And make it as detailed as you can. What is it made out of? Beautiful woven fibers with a huge handle. And I want you to imagine looking into that basket. And I want you to imagine that into that basket tonight, this first harvest of prosperity for you of this season, I want you to imagine looking down into that basket and seeing it full of everything you desire for around prosperity. What would that look like for you? So in that basket might be a check written to you to buy that home that you've been wanting for your family. In that basket might be everything you need to start knitting or crocheting or make a new business for yourself. It's different for everybody. In that basket could be enough money to send your kids to college. Maybe that's your dream. In that basket could be a beautiful vacation that you've been trying to manifest for your family so that you can spend more time together. What does prosperity look like for you? And it could be a prosperity of other kinds, too. It doesn't have to be financial. So it could be in that basket is just more happiness than you've ever felt in your life because you're calling in a harvest of prosperity, of joy. Doesn't have to be money. But here's the thing. I don't want you to be conservative here. Fill that basket. And spirit guides, we call upon you to help us in this visioning now. We are so grateful for the abundance and the prosperity that we already enjoy, all of the gifts that you have already bestowed upon us. And so together we say thank you. Out loud, thank you. And we ask that you fill this basket with everything we need to experience a prosperous life, whatever that is for each one. And I ask that you bestow great blessing upon each person in this circle tonight as they imagine for themselves what prosperity looks like. And I really want you to focus on you. This is you. Don't focus on prosperity for your parents. Don't focus on prosperity for your children. Focus on what prosperity is for you right now. Without fear, without limit, what does it look like? And now I want you to take a moment to really receive what you're looking at in that basket. Receive what you need from there. Receive it all if it all resonates with you. And you might notice sometimes the spirit guides in this meditation will put things in your basket that you didn't even imagine. Like, oh, yeah, I should ask for that. I should receive that. I should harvest that. That's a good idea. So be open to receiving suggestions and gifts from your spirit guides that they place into this harvest basket as well. I love that. And Anastasia says, a healthy baby due later in the year. That's beautiful. That's prosperity, is that not? That's prosperity of the deepest kind. And Angela's asking if you can have 2 intentions. So you can. If you want to call in 2 harvests tonight, you can. You certainly can. There's really no rules to this. The only rule is that you have to do this for yourself and that you have to remain open to receiving. Those are really the only rules. So beautiful. So once you feel like you've really seen what's in that basket, every single thing, and you've given yourself permission to dream, because that's really what we're doing right now. An intention is just a wish. It's a dream. But it's a dream fueled by energy, so it's not empty. Are you ready? So I want you to imagine your spirit guides coming forward now, receiving this basket from you and taking it on your behalf to go and manifest those things in your life. And as you watch your spirit guides take that basket from you, get excited. This is the fun part of manifestation, you guys, is trusting them to take this. And however you think of your spirit guides, some people believe that God takes the basket and manifests, or ancestors take the basket and manifest. Whatever resonates with you in terms of who, but there is a divine force that is interceding in your life on your behalf at all times, whatever name you give to that force. So surrender that, let it go, and now get excited about watching the universe create through you everything that you desire in perfect time. And a deep breath there. So it is. So it is. And with that, we'll extinguish our prosperity candle. Okay, so next we'll work with the intention of peace. This is one of my favorites. It's really funny. For me, this is an important harvest of peace, because what's the rest of it without peace? I mean, I'm sorry, but you can have all the money in the world, you can have everything you want, but if your soul isn't resting, I still don't know that that's a blessing. Do you know what I mean? Your soul has to be able to rest to enjoy. So calling in peace tonight, just offering the smoke to the room, because even if this wasn't your intention, you're going to receive the energy of it. I'm going to apply it to myself as well. So a little bit on the wrist. See, it's pretty. You're going to have a nice brown wrist, maybe a brown dot at the third eye, a little bit on the ankles. They're going to smell really good. Do you know what the best thing to do with these is? Take the powder and put it in the tassel of your mala. It will smell forever. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. That's a very traditional practice, actually, taking sandalwood powder and putting it into the tassel. That's what it's for. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then you'll always, just through the day, you'll start to just get a waft of that. And so do that with your intention, and then dedicate that mala. You might go home and do it tonight during Lammas, on the evening. And then every time you wear that mala, it's going to be so much more infused with the intention. It's really beautiful. Okay, so here we go with peace. I've got health. Here's my peace. Okay, again, working with my wrist as a canvas to pull a drop for the candle. To the back, calling in spirit helpers from the higher realms, the upper realm, to support my journey to peace. And then calling in spirit helpers from the lower realm, journey to peace. The ancestors have so much to teach us. By the way, did you love Peace Perfume? It's one of my favorites. It's so good. The ancestors are really good helpers in this, because if they didn't have peace in their lifetime, you better believe they're wishing it for you. Wouldn't you wish it for your grandchildren? I often think, I just want my grandchildren to know peace. Anything else they can work through. But I do want to leave a peaceful world to them. And so I think a lot of us feel that way. So lighting the peace candle, calling an element of fire, getting my peace grid. For me, I'm going to be working with the blue lace agate, because that is my go-to peace stone. The lepidolite is great too, but blue lace agate has just always been my go-to. It looks like this. I love it so much. Okay, so one in each hand, closing your eyes. Peace. What does peace look like for you? It's so different for each of us, isn't it? So with our basket, once again, we pull it in front of us, and I want you to imagine filling that basket with whatever peace looks like for you. For me, peace is a lack of some things. It's a lack of anxiety. It's a lack of stress. And peace for me is the conscious choice in every moment to pay more attention to what I love. That's my definition of peace. Conscious choice in every moment to pay more attention to what I love. Because you can always pay attention to everything else, but it's your choice. And so filling it up, what does peace look like for you? Peace for me also looks like a little more rest. So I'm putting maybe a pillow into my basket. It looks like more time with my family, because I always feel more peaceful when I spend time with people I love. It looks like more time outdoors, my feet in some dirt and some grass. It looks like a little less worry and anxiety for me. So that's what's in my basket. Put everything in there that feels like peace to you. Tohula, I see you. She says, I'm in tears. I so need peace. So good. Laughter is another good one for peace, by the way. Can you laugh and not feel peaceful? I think it's kind of hard. So that's another good one to put in there. Spirit guides, compassionate spirit helpers who are here to support us in our journey to peace. We ask you to come forward and take this basket from us tonight and to manifest this vision of peace on our behalf. Every religion in the world has a passage in its sacred text about a peace that the divine can give you that transcends any peace of the world. You've heard these quotes, right? Biblical passages. It's in the Quran. It's in every sacred text. And so tonight we call upon the divine, however you think of your creator. Give us tonight the peace that transcends the material. Give us the peace that truly only a deep connection to our creator can provide. We are so grateful. So we say thank you for the peace that has already come. Thank you. And we ask that you take this basket from us tonight and manifest peace in our lives on our behalf. And we give thanks for the blessings of peace that are on their way. And so it is. So it is. We blow out the peace candle. It's kind of fun to move through the different, isn't it? Just to feel the energies, even if it isn't your harvest. It's kind of an interesting experiment. Like, what does it feel like to call in love? You know, what does it feel like to call in peace? It's kind of, it feels special to me to do this with you. Okay, love, ritual powder, offering it to the room. This is a good one too. Not that any of them aren't good, but this is a good one. Okay, a little bit anointing with it, so to the third eye for what I know, what I do, where I go. The love perfume. And then dressing our candle. So, calling in spirit helpers from the upper realm to manifest greater love in our life. It's the whole reason you're alive. And then spirit helpers from the lower realm, especially the ancestors, help us to lead lives of love. Many of our ancestors struggled with love because life was difficult. So love was not the priority. Do you know what I mean? We're blessed that we can even say love is a priority. Because a lot of them were attending to much more basic needs. My family was. My family, a lot of them come from outside of this country and experienced war and hardship. And so I think love was a luxury at a certain time, or maybe didn't look exactly like the way we think of love now. So we're very blessed. Lighting the love candle. And then choosing a stone of love, 2 stones of love. I'm working with Unakite Jasper, which is a stone that reminds you to take good care of yourself. Did you know that? This is the self-love stone. Every mother on the planet, every father on the planet should literally have this in their pocket because you forget, like, oh yeah, me, I didn't eat today, right? And then rose quartz, which of course is the universal stone of love. Now this is a big basket. Get your big baskets out. You might be fitting a person in here. I mean, who knows? Leave your intention open for love. It doesn't follow the ethics of magic to request a certain person to love you. You know this, right? So, because that can backfire. We cannot manipulate free will of others. It's not what we do. But in that beautiful love basket, you can place everything in there that feels like love to you. And it can be the vision of a connection. It doesn't have to be a person, but you can call in a relationship for sure tonight. I mean, if you want to harvest love this year, tonight's the night. It's not going to get any better for you. This is it, because we are at the end of the growth season. The possibilities are still there. The fruit is ripe. This night, astrologically, is so well aspected for love magic. So put everything in that basket that feels like love. And if you're young, you're not looking for a romantic relationship, it could look like maybe more time with your family, the ability to be closer to them, to express more of your feelings. That's love. What else would look like love in your basket tonight? I'm just curious, what are you putting in there? A bubble bath? What was over here on the left side? Passion. Passion. Yes, passion. Desire. Friendship. Laughter.
Music.
Yes, music.
Acceptance.
Acceptance. For sure.
Child.
What was that?
Having a child.
Having a child. Do you know that fertility is one of the, we sort of track what people are talking about in our communities, and fertility is one of the biggest challenges that our community is facing right now. I've never seen anything like it, primary and secondary. Isn't that interesting? Across the communities. So there's this, and I will tell you from my perspective, there isn't really much of a fourth wave. I'm not seeing it. So I think that the universe is sending fewer in. I don't know what that means, so don't ask me to tell you what that means. But I do sense fewer souls being sent right now. And so that's interesting, right? Thank you, Gabriel said sex. Somebody had to say it. I got sex in my love basket. Love for the earth. I love that, Barbara. Thank you for that. Tara, self-happiness. I love that too. Dancing in the backyard. Forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. It's all over, right? Reconnecting. Passion. And I love the reconnecting too, don't you? Like, because we ebb and flow, right? Like maybe love looks like getting back to something. And it could be just you. It could be finally forgiving yourself for stuff that you've done that you've been holding against yourself for a very long time. Unikite would hold the essence of that vibration too. That could be love. Are you ready? There are fourth wavers, but it's not like the third wave where the souls were coming fast and easy. So I'm very curious to talk to more people who know more about this than I do and see if they see the slowing down of the soul factory that I am seeing. It's a fascinating phenomenon. Okay, are you ready? Okay. So close your eyes, roll your shoulders back. Spirit guides who have come to support us as we learn to love, we thank you for the love that you have already brought us. And we thank you for the love that you may have taken from us, that has saved us from many heartaches that we aren't even aware of. We thank you for that too. Isn't that the hardest thing, looking back and saying thank you for the loss of someone you really didn't want to lose? Have you ever done that? I've done that. It's hard. That's one of the harder things to do. And so tonight, Spirit guides, we ask you to take this basket from us and to manifest love for each person in this circle in exactly the way that they have imagined and envisioned it. This or something better. So remind everyone in the community tonight as they hand over their baskets to you, remind them that love is real and it's possible. And it's never too late to experience a deep connection in life. And in fact, it's often at the moment where you just think it's not going to happen, that it just appears. Have you noticed that? Because what you resist persists. So when you're resisting loneliness and you're resisting all these things, more lonely comes. When you finally say, you know what, I'm good. I think I'm good. I like me. And all of a sudden the soulmate is like dropped on your doorstep. I've just seen it happen too many times. So you might check in with what you're resisting tonight and maybe just surrender the resisting a little bit. Can you do that? Like just maybe set it to the side just for tonight, stop resisting, and just allow yourself to imagine that real love, like you've imagined, is possible, and it's in your basket. Spirit guides, we surrender this basket to you. We ask that you take it from us this evening and manifest love in all the ways that we seek, and all the ways that we desire and so richly deserve. We give thanks for the love that has already come, and we prepare ourselves for the love that is on the way. And a breath right there. Sweet little love candle. So we blow out our candle. So it is. The harvest of love. That's a big one. That is a big one. Okay, we move to health. Who's manifesting health tonight? I'm a general health manifester. I just like it. You know, I'm good with it. So it's just always a good one to work on. I love. This is probably my favorite of the ritual powders because I just love medicinal scents. I feel the healing when I smell a smell like this. This is one of my favorites. I'm actually going to pass this one around because if you didn't experience it, this is probably the one I would really like you to experience. And I can't imagine anybody doesn't really need a little bit of health, so I'm going to pass it around. So I'm going to put it on my charcoal. Isn't charcoal great? It just goes for hours. I mean, you don't have to keep relighting it, and you can just experiment with all different things. A little bit on my wrist, third eye, ankles. And then I will pass this one this way. Enjoy. You're welcome. If you want to stick it under your arms, I will not stop you. We're very open here at Sage Goddess. We don't judge. So you do what you got to do over there. And then the health oil, which I love too. Again, very medicinal, but there's a sweetness to it too. Did you like it? I think this may actually be my favorite healing blend that I've made, and I've made quite a few. But there's something really special about this one. So I'm going to send the perfume around too, for those of you who didn't experience it. Okay, health candle. So we're really asking you healing guides because each one of you does have healing guides. Guides who are here to protect your health so that you can complete your soul purpose. Does that make sense? You have specific guides who are here to make sure that you are strong and healthy to complete your purpose. So we're calling you in from the upper realms tonight to support our health and our healing process. And then ancestors and spirit guides from the lower realms. It's nice, isn't it? I know, right? Calling you in to support our healing as well. And then lighting our candle. Okay. And then healing stones. There's so many to choose from. Oops. And pretty much any of your healing stones will work. Bloodstone is my favorite. Bloodstone and sugilite are like my go-to healing stones. If you have autoimmune disease, you need sugilite. And it's coming tomorrow, so you can get really excited about that. I know. For the first time in 2 years, I have tumbled sugilite tomorrow. For the first time in 2 years. You can't get it. It just doesn't. And they're the big chunky pieces, too. I know. Okay. It's tumbled. The raw is actually more expensive.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? Usually tumble stones are more expensive because there's a process. Someone has to tumble them for you. In the case of sugilite, they don't just tumble themselves. Hate to break it to you, there are no tumbling elves. Okay, there probably are, but I haven't seen them. Okay, are they? Yes, thank you. Yes, I understand that. That makes perfect sense for me. Okay, are you ready? This is big for a lot of you because health was one of the main intentions. Health and prosperity were the two that you guys said you were really focused on. I believe that quantum healing is possible, which means spontaneous, miraculous healing of the physical body. And if you believe that too, that's half the battle, truly. I mean, you have to believe it. I've seen miracles, so nothing is lost on me. My mom was completely cured of cancer of the bone marrow, to the point where she had gone in to have her leg amputated, and they did one more x-ray, and the cancer was gone. And my brother was a year old. Imagine a mother of a 1-year-old going in to have her leg amputated and waking up and it's still there. And the doctor says, I don't believe in God, but I don't know how to tell you what just happened. And it's never come back. Miracles are really real. Oh, and by the way, there was a scar on her bone.
Wow.
There was a scar on her bone. And she had no bone marrow in her leg. How does that happen? And the doctor said it looked like somebody had scooped it, like with a spoon. I'm not kidding you guys. You can call my mom and ask her, and she will be happy to tell you all about it. She's going to preach to you a little bit if you call her and ask her about it, but if you can tolerate that. So, because I have lived some of those miracles, because she wouldn't have been alive to have me. Spirit helpers who are here to protect our health, we call upon you this evening, and I call upon you personally to bestow perfect miracles, perfect health blessings upon every single person in this circle tonight. Helping them to believe that whatever their health struggles are, and for so many of us it's private, we don't share our health problems with each other in this culture. It's too bad, but we just don't, for fear of being judged. Whatever they're struggling with tonight, I ask that you touch it, heal it, remove it, if they have learned the lesson, if they have received the medicine. Whatever healing looks like for each person in this circle tonight, first of all, let's say thank you for all the many ways in which your health has already been blessed, because it has. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And into that basket goes every vision of perfect health for you. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because this is you. You're getting in the basket. And this can look like, what does it look like for you? Comfort, right? The pain's gone. Those awful fibro symptoms, because that's a terrible disease. It's invisible, so people don't understand. Sleepless nights, joint pain, anything. I mean, you name it. What is it for your health that you're manifesting tonight? Calling that in tonight for yourself. And it can be mental health. It doesn't have to be physical health. It might be just finding a way to quiet some of the chaos in your mind, right? To clear away some of that chatter and give you mental peace. Whatever healing looks like for you tonight. But this is for you. This isn't for anybody else. They have to do their own ritual. Are you ready? Is that basket full of a super healthy you? Anything is possible. Make sure you put it in there. It could be released from things that you have suffered with for a very long time. But tonight's a good night to let it go. And so, spirit helpers who surround us with blessings of health, we call upon you tonight to take these baskets from us. And we ask that you manifest this perfect vision of health for each of us in perfect time and complete alignment with our ability to live our soul's path and calling, and to do that in comfort and in peace and in perfect health for each person in the circle tonight. And a breath there. A harvest of health. So it is. So it is. And candle. When you blow your candle out, you're sending that wish. So every time, I always watch my smoke and really trace it to the ends. Have you ever watched smoke? It's like a dance. But each step, if you really want to do ritual right, each step, even the extinguishing of your candle, is beauty. I mean, if you really, that's why you got to take the time to enjoy it. I think it's important. Here's the last one. Are you ready? This is the big one. Okay, so we've got our ritual powder, a little bit on our charcoal. This one's yummy. I'm going to pass this one around too, because this is a good one. If none of the other ones were for you, then this is your chance to set an open intention for your harvest. What is it for you? Those of you who didn't do the others, what are you doing? I want to know. What are you? I'm going to pass this one this way. This Jane. And then your open perfume, which has patchouli and basil and just some general manifestation ingredients to support you, so that whatever your harvest intention is, it just becomes sort of an all-purpose talisman for you. And then drawing from there, spirit helpers in the upper realm, calling upon you to help us manifest our other intentions, whatever those may be. And then spirit helpers in the lower realm calling upon you to help us manifest these additional intentions, whatever those may be. So our feed has kind of slowed down. Laura, I don't know if you're still seeing comments in the feed, but I'm not seeing them. So just in case people aren't seeing me respond, I can't see their comments in the feed right now. So you guys online, I'm just letting my team know that I can't, for whatever reason, the feed isn't sort of current. So I just want you to know, as soon as I can see your comments again, I'll be able to respond directly to you. Okay, So, lighting the open candle, I would love to know, anyone in the room want to share what your open intention is? Sometimes putting the energy out there actually expands the energy around your intention. Ooh, I love it. I wish that for you. Joyous birth for you. So it is. What a harvest that will be for you. Creativity. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. More of that, please. Consistency. I like that. I like that a lot. Being consistent is a powerful intention to set. And get your basket out. So here's our basket. You might be so inspired by people's suggestions that you end up putting some of their intentions in your basket. So consistency, creativity, persistence. I love it. Not giving up. Wisdom. More of that. Acceptance. Joy. Work. Work's got to be in the basket sometimes. Courage or marriage?
Courage.
I like courage. Marriage is good too. You can put a marriage in a basket. There's a marriage in my basket.
Right?
Yeah. Study. Mm-hmm. Purpose.
Clear communication.
Mm-hmm. Clear communication. I love that too.
Expansion of my women's empowerment group.
Expansion. Forgiveness.
Actions.
Yes.
Freedom.
I like that one. Freedom's a good one. In the basket it goes. Everything. And this is sort of a catch-all. You know, this is like, but again, first harvest, early harvest, right? We're not going into the deep, deep, deep. This is just, think of this like as light as the wheat, right? This is just early harvest. Are you ready? So spirit helpers who are here to manifest these additional desires that we have for all of the things that we've said out loud and all of the things that we haven't said out loud. We ask that you take this basket from us and manifest all of these intentions in perfect time and in full alignment with our soul path and our soul calling. We give thanks, thank you, for all of the different harvests that have already come, all the creativity we already had, the innovation you had to create a group that you want to expand. Do you know what I mean? Like just the creation is a harvest. And really looking at your work sometimes and seeing each phase as a blessing. If you're not at the beginning, you've already been blessed. So thank you for that. And then take this basket from us tonight, Spirit Guides, for all of these additional intentions and manifest them on our behalf. And we surrender them, we let them go, and we give thanks for the blessings that are already on their way. And can't you feel it tonight? There's a buzz. It's really fun because even though like our room here in person is kind of quiet, because I mean it's ritual and there's an intensity to this, but there's still this intense vibration because we all know that things are almost on our doorstep now. This is the season of receiving, and we've waited a long time. And so it is. Ah-ho. I like it. And the candle. I'm going to watch the smoke on this one. Just for a minute. Smoke's a good teacher because you can't force it to do anything. You can try. Here, go that way. You know, I mean, so it's smoke actually is a good teacher for parenting. Right? Can't get them to do anything either, really. So, not by force, by love. Always by love. Okay. And so we began each one of these smaller rituals within the bigger ritual with gratitude. I really want you to close your eyes right this minute. And I want you to spend the next 30 seconds, I'm going to time it. However you wish to do this, you can literally just to yourself say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is your expression of that deep divine gratitude. Really give it with your whole heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. saying thank you 3 times. Did you know how magic that is? 3 times. You have to say it 3 times. So I want to do that together to close our ritual. And I'll open our circle. Are you ready? So for the first thank you, let's start. Thank you. Here's the second. Thank you. And here's the third. Thank you. So it is. We have a creator who delights in our gratitude. And wouldn't you? Do you ever stop to think about that? If you created this incredible planet, gave sentient life, and these miraculous bodies that we move around in, and allowed us to feel the deep joy that most of us have experienced in this life, bless you, and all the emotions, right? And they weren't grateful. I often think, what if they weren't grateful and didn't believe? I would work harder. I would work harder to show them. So, make it easy to show you. And so, releasing that beautiful beam of white light that has just surrounded us tonight in love, releasing the guardians of the gateways, guardians of the northern gateway. We're so grateful for the wisdom, the grounding, the stability. We release you, guardians of the western gateway. Thank you for helping us connect to our emotions tonight and really feel those feelings so that we can harvest in line with those feelings. We're so grateful. We release you from your service to the circle, guardians of the south. Thank you for the courage this took to say, I intend, I receive. That takes courage. A lot of us aren't used to receiving. We're used to giving. And so tonight, which is all about the harvest, your harvest, it took courage to do this. So thank you, guardians of that gateway, for being present. We release you. Guardians of the eastern gateway, it's a new day. And we are so ready for the harvest that is at hand. I stand strongly with my brothers and sisters tonight. I have watched them work. I have watched them hold space. I have watched them have faith in total darkness that the light was coming. So thank you, spirit helpers, who are going to bless each person in this circle with the harvest that they have been waiting on, in some cases for a very long time, lifetimes maybe. May it be so. We release you from your service to the circle. And with that, my sweet loves, our circle is complete tonight. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that you were here, that you did this work. Thank you for those of you in the room who are such beautiful anchors for this work always. How are you feeling? Yeah? Yeah? You feel it coming though, don't you? It's like a train down the tracks, isn't it? And how beautiful it will be. Every single harvest, every single surprise, every single, wow, it worked, will be. Your only job now, literally the only thing you have to do now, is just believe. Just have faith. And if you want to know why people don't manifest, it's because 2 weeks from now they're like, well, I tried and it didn't happen, so. Stand in faith and in patience. I really believe that anything you desire can come to you. Just be patient, I hope. All right. So I get to see you for full moon next week. And we have a new moon in Leo toward the end of the month, which is also a solar eclipse. Woohoo! And we're going to be here live. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to be here live no matter what happens. So this is the first time that we're doing 3 live, online, and in-person events at Sage Goddess in 1 month. If you guys like it, we're going to kind of keep the pace. I'm excited about it. I know. It's really fun. Let me tell you, this is the season to come back to your magic. And it always happens. Every year in September, it's like, kids are at school, mama is going to do magic. It's like this whole thing of like, bye kids. And the same with men too. Kids are in school, dada is going to do magic, right? So this is your time. So just a reminder, so the code HARVEST is saving you 17% at sagegoddess.com all the way until midnight. We have some beautiful things in the shop today, I'm sure you saw. We have Sujilite coming tomorrow. I gave you the heads up, we don't have a lot of it. So, and your code is still going to work tomorrow. We're going to extend it through tomorrow. So if for whatever reason today wasn't your day, Harvest will still be used. You can use Harvest for 17% tomorrow off of anything there that you want. And by the way, you can use, we still have a few of these kits, not very many of them, not for all of the intentions, but you can actually use, if you liked these kits, you can use this at Maybon. There'll be other tools too, but you can certainly use this kit, especially if you're really focused on health or really focused on peace. So you can go in and get those now and then use your discount code, which is pretty cool. So that's in the shop. And then I have a gift of a stone for everybody in the room. And for those of you online too. And so the stone that we chose to gift you tonight is obsidian. And it's an interesting choice, right? Not because of Game of Thrones. It's not why. I'm not going to say that thought didn't cross my mind. We don't really have any White Walkers to kill, but not tonight. The winter is coming. Winter's here, for God's sake. But in all seriousness, obsidian is a mirror. Did you know that? It's a mirror. And in order to manifest well, you have to see clearly. And so I'm gifting you obsidian tonight with the intention that it will allow you to see you clearly as we go into the harvest season. Because soon all the shadow work begins. And so clear sight is going to get you through the upcoming season. So those of you in the room are going to take your piece home tonight. Those of you online, if you would like a piece, if you place an order between now and tomorrow, we don't have enough to do it past tomorrow. So it's just tonight and tomorrow, same mirror in your notes. And I will add a piece of obsidian, which has been in this room. I did energy work with it earlier. It's all charged and ready to go. I will send a piece of that to you as my gift. Yeah? So happy Lammas, everybody. Yay. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I see you, and I'm so excited for what is coming for you. I have enough faith for both of us. But I need your faith, too. I'll see you guys soon. Next week at full moon. Take care. Yay. Yay.